Okay. Hi, I'm Keith, and I'm trying to raise money for the American Liver Foundation. I thought I'd try something new here and make a YouTube video where I beg you for money. And I've got this fancy new camera, so I'm coming at you in Super HD resolution, which should be a treat for you. So yeah, that's great. So for those of you who know me, you might suspect that my motives here aren't altogether altruistic, and of course you'd be right, but hopefully I'll make a convincing case over the next few minutes to earn your donation. Sometime in 2008, I started getting really into running after I finally recovered from an ankle injury that had sort of prohibited me from exercising for the better part of a year. And I was playing too many video games, and I put on some weight, and I was really kind of feeling down about myself. So running sort of, I guess, kicked me out of my rut. And one thing led to another, and I kept running, longer and longer distances, and I actually signed up for the California International Marathon in December of 2008. And of course I got injured again, different injury, but sort of came late in the training, which was disappointing. But I finally ran my first marathon in December of 2009, the same race the next year. And I ran it with a time of 3 hours, 8 minutes, which was very exciting because it meant that I had qualified for the Boston Marathon. So for those of you who don't know, the Boston Marathon is the only sort of major marathon road race that has a time requirement to get in. And for people under the age of 35, that time is 3 hours, 10 minutes, 59 seconds, which equates to 7 minutes, 17 seconds per mile. And there's some prestige associated with qualifying for the race because it's actually a very hard qualifying time. So I was feeling really proud of myself for qualifying, and I was really excited to run the race. Except for that, I forgot to sign up for the race the day the registration opened. And of course, for the first time in the history of the race, it sold out on the first day. And I was incredibly bummed. I was very disappointed. I tried calling, the organizing committee, but they were unsympathetic, probably because they had heard, dozens, hundreds of people calling in that day, with their fielding sort of similar pleas. But fortunately, the Boston Athletic Association, which is sort of the body that organizes the race, provides an alternative way of getting in. And what they do is they issue race slots to a select group of charities that they fully vet, and you can apply to these charities, and if they think you're an attractive candidate, which mostly means they think you're reliable and will raise a good amount of money, then they'll issue one of their race slots. So before this experience, I was very critical of runners who race for charity, especially ones who take, I guess, precious race slots from qualified runners, people who I guess I felt were more deserving. And I guess to some extent I still feel this way, but I've now seen that this is an incredible fundraising event. The charities that the Boston Athletic Association selects are all top-notch organizations. They all work really hard. And hundreds of runners are in the race this way. Actually, I think it's thousands. And millions of dollars get raised to some of these very deserving organizations. I myself applied to several charities. I was lucky enough to get accepted into all of them. The decision was kind of hard to choose which one to go with, but I ultimately decided to sign on with the American Liver Foundation. Team Liver, which is what we call ourselves, has been incredibly helpful and supportive in my fundraising efforts. They've provided me with a website that makes it really easy to collect donations. It's very easy to process credit cards, and it manages all that for me. They put me in touch with a small support group of other runners running for the same cause. They send out weekly emails with both training tips and fundraising tips, and they're really a class act. And I think the Running Arms quality extends to the charity as a whole. The American Liver Foundation itself is they're a terrific organization. Their mission is simple. I'm going to read it here. It's to facilitate, advocate, and promote education, support, and research for the prevention, treatment, and cure of liver disease. It really is a great cause. Liver disease affects an incredible amount of people, and research in this area is really needed. There's been some progress, but more needs to be done. And for someone like myself, who's very miserly and sort of skeptical of charities in general, working with the American Liver Foundation has really opened my eyes. I'm proud to be raising money for them, and so that's the spiel. You can make as small a donation as you like. The website really makes it easy to do. Even $5 would be a great help. They won't even spam your email, and it's very easy. It will only take a few minutes. So I hope you decide to donate, and thanks for listening.